Hello, I am back. I am back and I'm feeling pretty well. It's been a while since I actually recorded anything, and partially because I was sick and I didn't feel like doing anything. The other half, I've just been really busy, and so I haven't made time to actually come outside, sit with myself, and record and hear the sound of my own voice talking about just whatever it is that comes to mind. But I'm here now and I'm feeling pretty good. Being away for a while definitely gave me some more insight as to what it is that I wanted to talk about, what it is that I've learned, and how it is that things have affected me. Just kind of just talking out loud. I got registered for my classes recently, which is pretty lit. I also got certified for first aid and CPR. I've also been helping out my family a bunch, my aunties, my grandmas, my brother, everybody, man. It's just been doing a whole bunch of stuff. But one experience that I've had since the last time I uploaded, right, that has stuck with me. I went to church with my grandma, right? And I enjoy going to church with my grandma. It's pretty nice. I get to help her out, do stuff, and the service is always nice. But one of the things that the father, the pastor, whatever his official title is, I can't think of it at the moment. Forgive me, but he was talking about the mind-body connection, right? How a lot of people will focus on their body but not focus on their mind, or vice versa, right? Where in reality you need to focus on both things because they reflect off of each other, right? And when I heard that, right, I already knew that was a thing, right? I knew that was a thing where they're both very important. How your physical health is and how your mental health is, how your mind is, how your body is, right? I know that's important and that they have a connection. But just hearing it again, made me reflect on my life and how I've been throughout different periods of my life, how my mind and body connection affected how it is that I perceived life, or how I went about life, and how things affected me, etc., right? One specific instance would be for adolescence, where I was in such a very depressive mental state, right? I was in a very negative mental state, and as a direct result, my body reflected that, right? I was not taking care of myself. I was very unhealthy, right? And I did a bunch of things that I would consider to be unhealthy things, right? However, once my mind got better, once I started doing things to help my mind more, my body instantly reflected that, right? I started engaging in better habits and good habits. I started, actually prioritizing my health a lot more because I think literally a direct correlation between the work that I'm putting into helping my mental health, which also affects my physical health, right? Going to therapy, engaging in positive self-talk, actually believing in myself, establishing a sense of confidence that I never truly had before, right? Because of my low mental state, my being, right? As a direct result, my body reflected that. And vice versa, right? There would be times where I was trying to do things for myself physically, right? Engaging in different activities that, would make me feel good, right? Or would have long-term benefit, like working out. However, because I was in such a bad mental space, I was never able to keep up with that, right? Why am I talking about all this, right? Why am I talking about a mind and body connection? Well, I think it's important to really think about how this connection affects you personally, right? what are the thoughts that you're having on the day-to-day basis? What are the actions that you are partaking in every day that affect your body, affect your mind, right? What is going on in your life that affects one of those two things? Reflect how it is that affects you, whether it's good or bad, and what can you do to change it, right? Because it's one thing for you to constantly work out, right? Constantly work out, or maybe you're eating really good, right? Or maybe you are just doing a bunch of things that are good for you physically, right? But if you are still engaging in a bunch of negative self-talk, or you are allowing the media to influence your self-confidence, or maybe you are in a bad environment, right? In a bad environment that's constantly draining you, that's constantly telling you a whole bunch of bad stuff, right? You might be good on the short term, but on the long term, that's still gonna affect you, because you're not able to take care of your mind, right? And vice versa, right? I think is still the truth. You can do all the work you can to help your mind. You can go to therapy. You can, practice on your faith, right? Whatever it is that helps you gain clarity. But if you're not doing anything physically to back it up, right? Or on top of it, you still might just feel like maybe sluggish, or just not as optimally as you would like to be, right? Because you need to take care of both your mind and your body, right? And I know, saying this, it's kind of head ass, because I'm inclined to believe that a lot of people know how important both of those things are to each other, right? However, you might know the importance, but you might not act on it, right? And maybe it just takes someone else saying something to truly connect the dots. You know what? I have not been taking care of this thing as well as I should have, right? And I don't know. But yeah, it was a nice service. I'm glad I went. Another thing that happened for me, because for most of my life, I've always had very low self-confidence, and I didn't really know what I was doing, right? I would say that I was considered lost, right? And what it is that I wanted to do in my life, and how, the direction I wanted to go, right? Until recently, last year, I figured out what it is that I did want to do, and I started committing to it, right? I started doing things to get myself closer and closer to this goal that I have, right? This goal being to be a pilot, right? That's my goal. And I've been striving towards it, right? But, there'll be times where I feel like maybe I'm not doing anything, right? And it wasn't until when I went to go register for my classes, I saw my mentor, actually. I just saw him briefly before I left where I was. And he was and he really helped me put it into perspective, to say, where it was I told him, I'm going to register for my classes. And he was like, hey, that's great. I'm proud of you. You're following through. And that really, it stuck with me still to this day, because that was a while back now. It's that's still stuck with me. It's being able to follow through on something that you want to do, right? Not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people are able to follow through on goals that they might have for themselves, right? No matter what the reasoning might be, whether it be external or internal, right? A lot of people just can't follow through, or don't follow through. And, I used to be the same way. I was very much I had low self-confidence, and I would just not do the things that it is that I wanted to do, or needed to do, or felt like I should do, etc., right? But getting closer and closer every day to this goal that I have. It still feels like sometimes I'm just not doing what it is that I need to be doing. And so just hearing like, I'm proud of you, you're following through, right? It really helped put it to perspective for me that, I am doing the things it is that I want to do for myself, for my goals, right? And, progress, it's not just a linear slope. It's not a linear slope, right? It goes up and down. It goes all kinds of directions, right? But if there is truly something that is that you want, no matter what kind of goal it is, right? If you are able to just do things one step at a time, right? No matter how long it might take, you will get there. You will always make progress as long as you set the intention to do the things it is that you're trying to do, right? And yeah, I don't know. I hope without all that coming out, someone needed to hear that, because you are following through. You are following through with what it is that you need to do, right? Or it is that you want to do. Just a matter of keep going. You just got to keep going. And stick with it. Especially that. Stick with it. If it's something that you want to do, everything will work out in the end. Yeah, that's I guess those are the two things I wanted to talk about. I'm pretty good. The sun's coming out, it's summer, and there's a lot of things going on in the world, but I'm not gonna let that affect me to the degree that it would have before. I hope everyone that's watching this is doing all right. I know it's been a while since I've actually said anything. Make sure to take care of yourselves, right? Because the only person who could take care of you is you. And always remember, your mind and body exist together, so you have to take care of both of them. And always follow through with what it is that you want to do. Progress is not a linear slope. Have a good one.